Now to one of the major issues still facing women in 2019, the gender pay gap.
A study late last year from the Australian Gender Equality Council spoke to 10,000 secondary students to better understand their career aspirations. Victoria Weekes is the chair of the council and she joins us now from Sydney. Victoria, happy International Women's Day to you.
Great to be here, Michael. Thank you.
Now, so many interesting findings in this study. One, and it sort of dispels a bit of a myth, that there was no difference in self-confidence between boys and girls. Talk us through that one.
Exactly. I mean, it's often quoted, and I think there even have been some studies that when women are in the workplace, we're not as confident, we don't put ourselves forward. And so we really wanted to understand whether, in fact, that was innate, heaven forbid, or what we were seeing in schools. And the fantastic thing about this report is it completely dispels that myth. From year 7 to year 11, boys and girls had exactly the same level of self-confidence and also the same desire for paid work and what we might call ambition. So that, I think, myth is completely dispelled, which is really good to see. So that's not what causes the problems in the workplace.
So what does?
Well, I think a lot of the culture of workplaces and how we treat women in the workplace as we go through it changes very quickly. So I think we have to stop and look at how we respond to women in the workplace and different styles of workplaces as well, which the report touches on in terms of different career preferences that girls and boys have.
Okay, and let's just stick with the report for the moment. What struck you as some of the findings in terms of how boys and girls, I guess, are conditioned at a young age for certain careers and for certain other things?
Yeah, it was a real aha moment for me because a lot of people say to me, oh, well, millennials are different, you know, the next generation, the pipeline, and what, as well as, despite the fact that we had this very common level of confidence already from year 7, when girls have entered high school, there is incredibly strong career preference towards social services and healthcare, all the helping and caring professions, and boys for the doing and building and designing. So to me, that's really, really important because we see still now, you know, a very small proportion of women in construction, women in aviation, women in mining, and we're not going to get a huge change in pipeline just because we're starting to encourage more girls in high school. We're going to have to go back to primary school and home to make sure that we you know, help girls realise there are careers there that are really exciting and rewarding.
From a very young age, that's a very good point. So in 2019, International Women's Day, Victoria, how would you I suppose, describe the level of gender equality in Australia at the moment?
We still have a long way to go. I think there's still a very significant gender pay gap and there's lots of talk about how it's actually reducing. I think we understand that that may not really be a long-term trend. We also tend to see the gender pay gap is often quoted as 14%. It's actually 21% when we look at total pay. It's not just about pay, it's about industry still being very female-dominated or male-dominated, so a lack of balance there. It's about violence against women. So there's still quite a long way to go, and we're really focused on making sure people are aware of that and looking at solutions.
Thank you for your time this morning, Victoria Weekes.
Thanks very much, Michael.